Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Monday. All right, I'm live. Hopefully, we can get a few people to pop on that I can say hey to. So, man, my beard does not look too good, but I don't care. So, hey, hope everybody's having a wonderful holiday. I just got off a coaching call, and this call reminded me of my past, and it reminded me of like how far I've come from when I left the fire department. And so holidays like now to me mean way more than they used to. And I say that because the biggest question I get a couple of times a month based on the interactions that I have when I tell people when they find out that, I used to be a firefighter and a fire investigator is, do you miss it? And my answer has been and always will be no, I don't miss it. So even when I go back to May of 2017, when I walked out for good, um, there was about a 6 month time frame where I kept my certifications. I was unsure. Like I was unsure in myself. I was unsure in my capability to provide for my family. And I think, just talking with people nowadays, like so many people are in this place. And so let me take you back a little bit today. I'm going to keep this short. Um, but I was always in a place where I didn't fit the mold. Like I never fit the mold of the fire department and what they wanted me to be and how they wanted me to act and who they wanted me to be. I never fit that mold. And so let me elaborate on that a little bit. So, in my time, in my 14 years working for the fire department, I moved 5 times. And now, as I sit here today, it's as clear as day. But it wasn't clear to me then. It wasn't clear to me that I was searching for something and I was looking for something because I was going off of me. I was going off of my desires and the things that I wanted for my life. So I ended up moving around, right? Now I took promotions and took higher pay and stuff like that besides one time. Um but I was always in the frame of mind that it's not me, it's them. Like how many of you feel like that in your current job? Like they don't understand, they don't know what they have in me, whoever they is, your boss, your coworkers, your supervisors. Maybe if you own your business, maybe it's even your team members. Because that's a shitty place to be. And I was there for a long, long time. And when I reflect and try and remember to that man that I was a shell. Like I was a shell of a man. I didn't God, like there was just like something I was always reaching for, and it just seemed like I could never get there. And there are situations where it was them, but really it was me. It was me needing and searching for something else that no matter what fire department I worked for, no matter where I went, it was never going to fulfill me. It didn't matter how much I was getting paid. It didn't matter my rank. It didn't matter what I was doing. It was never going to fulfill who I needed to become. And when I look back, it's like, it's crazy. Like, the things that I felt, like the pain that I felt from this. I was always somebody that, I would literally tell myself, okay, don't fuck this up. You got a new department. You need to show up. You need to do certain things. You need to not be yourself. Like, what kind of fucking place is that? Just for a person. Like, don't be yourself. Don't share your ideas. Don't say the things that you're feeling. Like, what kind of place is that to be? It's a terrible place. It's a fucking terrible place to go to work in a place every day and not be yourself and feel like you're the problem, right? So there's a mold that, the fire department had that I had to fit. So there's kind of that path, but there's also the path that I was searching for something they were never going to be able to give me. And it wasn't until I made that decision to leave that I actually recognized that. So, what changed for me? So, towards the end of my career, I took a pay cut, and I transferred over ranks, but I took a pay cut because I left a fire department that, despite all of my efforts and all of my credentials, I was told I would never get hired, or I wasn't qualified, which, was a whole other reason why I left. But I went to a fire department in my hometown here in Castle Rock, and I was super excited. Took a major pay cut, like $30,000, because I was like, this is it. Like, this is the place that I need to be. This is the place that I'm going to be able to grow and use my skills and be myself and, promote up through the ranks, achieve my dreams at the time, to be a fire marshal. And, looking back immediately that first week, I knew I made the wrong decision. But like I had before, I kept going forward. Like, this is the decision I made. I'm going to keep, moving forward in this area. And I was fucking miserable. I was miserable. And I literally had just moved to this fire department. My wife and I found out we were pregnant with our oldest son. And it was just a dark time for me. Like, I was never happy. I was never satisfied. And it was like, it's because I was in a place that I couldn't be myself. And even though in that situation, like, there's that mold you have to fit with the fire department, no matter who you are, I still just couldn't be myself. And I was always on guard because of the coworkers I worked with. I knew they had a history of getting people fired, so I was always on guard. And that put me in a dark, dark place. It put me at my heaviest weight that I'd ever been. It put me at the sickest I've ever been with my health. And I'd have you consider it put me in probably the worst relationship situation I was with my wife. And so then I started searching. After going through all that, after never being happy, never being satisfied, coming home and just being a shell of a man, not being there for my wife and then my firstborn son, not ever being satisfied or content with where we were at in life. Like, I was done. I was so done with feeling like that. I was done with the fact that I couldn't enjoy anything. And this is where I believe I was depressed. I had no sense of smell. I had no sense of taste. I was the fattest I had ever fucking been. And I had just taken a pay cut of $30,000 to go to this fire department, this position. Like, I was miserable. And I didn't know how to climb out. I didn't know where I needed to go to get myself out of this fucking pit. And so, that is when I started going to church more, started, exploring that opportunity more with speaking with God and trying to do it. And that didn't work for me at the time. And what really did work was just starting from where I knew I needed to go. Was I started working on my health. So I've talked a lot about the internal reflects the external. So when I say that, what I mean was I was dying inside. And my external body showed that. My weight showed it. My health showed it. The internal reflects the external. I was depressed. Like, you could see it in my face. So I started with my body. I was like, I need to lose some weight. I need to feel better. I need to get to a place where I can find myself. And like almost immediately, my coworkers started giving me shit. Like there were sit downs with my supervisor because I was working out, which I was allowed to do. Like, there was a problem with that. This is the environment that I was in. So not only was I in an environment where like my own internal environment was bad, but my work environment was bad. So, hey, what's up, David? So literally I'm having a sit down with my supervisor because the two fatter guys that I worked with, they were mad that I was working out. It wasn't taking away from my work. And that's the dichotomy of the fire department. Like, you have people that are severely obese in the fire department when heart attack is the leading cause of firefighters. They're obese, and here I am having this fucking conversation that I'm taking an hour to work out every day. Like, are you kidding me? So you could see somebody that does not adhere to the status quo. Like, this was a fucking train wreck for me. So I start working out, and I start to separate myself from my coworkers. I start to listen to podcasts. So I'm working at my desk, and instead of participating in their bullshit, I start listening to podcasts every day, hours, couple a day. And then it got worse. Like, the environment got worse. And so I bring all this up because that's when I started to realize that this path that I was on was no longer the path I needed to walk, and I needed to leave. And after my close friend passed away and my oldest son was born, like, I knew that I could no longer be in that position of not being able to be myself and being in a non-conducive environment that fosters growth, like fosters you getting better, because that is what a lot of fire departments promote, is that, no, we're progressive, we work on ourselves, we do all this stuff. And so, it took a long time for me to get there, but I eventually got there to leave and walk away from the only career I'd ever made money on. Like, I had spent my entire, teenage years preparing to be a firefighter. I started schooling at 16. I started volunteering. I started not doing the things that teenagers do to prepare for that career. And I left it all. I left it all behind. And that brings me to my point when I started this video is, do I miss it? And the answer is no. I don't miss it. It is such a pivotal point in my life, though, that it helped me get to where I was, to walk away and leave for good, because I knew I had to, for my family, for my health. Like, if I did not do that, I don't know if I'd be sitting here in front of you today, whether it was health related or whatever, because I had to leave. And I don't mean to be dramatic, but that is a fucking truth. Crab traps have no door because the other crabs won't let anyone else escape. Yeah, exactly. Like, I had to leave. And my wife knew I had to leave. My son had no idea, but, he's smart and very aware now. But I had to leave for my own good. And it took me a long time and a lot of pain and a lot of heartache and a lot of just self-deprecating bullshit that I did to myself to get to that point to leave. So I sit here as a man in front of you today, almost 8 years later, saying I don't regret leaving whatsoever. on this holiday weekend, because holidays for me, I cherish now, because I had to work a lot of holidays at the fire department. Couldn't see my family, all that stuff. So it's just this reflection that I've had today of my journey, and my sincere desire for people to not be in that fucking place that I was in. I had a call with a gentleman last week for coaching, and I could just tell he was in pain. Like I could see myself in him. And even though our situations weren't the same, that feeling was the fucking same. That look was the same. Like that look of, what the fuck am I gonna do? No matter which way I look, I have a path of uphill fucking battle ahead of me. Like the uphill climb. It's over here to my left if I choose this. It's over here to my right if I choose this. Like I saw that look. And that is a place that nobody should be. But we're all going to find our time where we're going to be in that situation. And it's literally, it was life or death for me. Life or death. Literally. Like, I lost my best friend at 36 years old. He was 2 kids under the age of 6, and he died from occupational cancer. We fought fires together. Like that was seriously one of the paths I was heading with my health. Had I not made that decision, I could not be here for my kids. And that's fucking tough to think about. So, not trying to bring this down, but I'm just being fucking real. Like this is me reflecting on how far I have fucking come to this guy that's sitting here in front of you today. Like, how far have I come to be here, to be on Alive, to be talking to you, to be sharing real shit with you? To just rip it open. The Beard Man is ripping this open. Like, I want that for everybody. I want what I feel right now, this gratitude, this satisfaction, this freeness. I want that for everybody. I really do. Hey, what's up, Ghetto? Hope you're well, brother. So I definitely want that for everybody. And that's why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. That's why I'm having these conversations with men. That's why I'm coaching men to not be in that place. Yes, sir. Yeah, see, and that's something else I need to work on. So Mr. Barefoot pointed it out. No need to apologize. But there is an awakening coming. And that's why I feel so deeply for this. Because if we don't fucking wake up now, we're going to lose it all. I really feel that. And nobody's put that into my head. It's something I've felt for a long time. But what I've been doing these past few months is I've been embracing this feeling that I have. So I hope everybody is well. I hope that you guys are able to take some time, reflect today, get prepared for the rest of the week. I know I have. I'm off to Dana Point on Wednesday for a mastermind session with my brothers. So I'm looking super forward to that. But I'll end on this. With this awakening, with this calling that I have inside of me, and this deep desire to not have people feel the way that I felt, I want to invite you to a challenge that I have coming up here, because as we hit September, like, the time is now. The time is now to prepare for next year. It's not fucking January. That stuff is all gimmicks. So over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be releasing spots to do a 90-day challenge. And I want to invite you to join me. This is going to be a challenge where you and I get to have conversations just like this, but you'll be on camera with me. This will be an opportunity for you to be in a group with other people that have decided to come along. 2024 is going to be a wild fucking year, if you ask me. And we're going to be tested and we're going to be tried. And yeah, that happens normally, but I feel like it's going to happen more than any other year before. And as for me, my house is going to be in order. So my goal with this challenge is not to sell you on some shit. It's to help you get your house in order. And how do you do that? You did it just like I did it at the fire department. You start with yourself. You start doing the things to build yourself, to get yourself out of that pit. And then you can lead your family. And then you can lead others. Time's now. So please look for that over the next, probably about 2 weeks. I'm finalizing the start date for that. But it's going to be a 90-day challenge, and it's going to be a fire race to the beginning of the year. And I want to empower those and set people up so that when January 1 hits, I promise I haven't been drinking. When January 1 hits, you are ready for whatever is going to come your way, whether you believe me or not. So I'm excited to not formally announce this, but I will be announcing this in the next 2 weeks on how you can join me. So until then, if you want, shoot me a DM. If you're interested in personally working with me, you do have to apply. Yeah, real bearded teacher there. So Beard Man, we're going to level the fuck up before everybody else. And that's going to set you apart. So anyway, guys, have a fantastic evening. I'm going to go hang out with my family and get a workout in. And just follow me on here on IG. We'll see you here tomorrow.